I think some of you know I was very concerned about your recent election for many reasons, not the least of which has to do with the protection of this precious ecosystem of the Amazon. So when Lula won, the world also won. And because of what is happening in the world today, environmentally, also this terrible war in Ukraine and the threat of a nuclear bomb being detonated, also the issues around racism and economic injustice, not only in my country, but in so many countries of the world. I have looked as an elder at this time, watching young people step forward in a remarkable way, sending their voice and also engaging in activities of protest, whether it's the women and men in Iran, for example, around gender parity. Or it is the young people in Europe, like Greta Thunberg, standing up, magnetizing profound energy around the climate issues. So in our country, we call this Generation Z, Gen Z. And I'm aware of the courage and importance of the younger generation in bringing the vote in the direction of compassion and justice. And I look at the process that many of us are in relation to the environmental and social conditions. I look on this as charnel ground practice. Now, charnel ground, I think many of you know, is the place where corpses are brought and where the vultures come or the jackals come and consume the bodies of those who have died. And to practice in a charnel ground, to show up in a charnel ground, not only the charnel ground of our society, but the charnel ground of our very mind, is the practice that I feel so many of us are engaged in at this time. And to enter the charnel ground at this time in our world is to enter with the spirit of the bodhisattvas. And why is it so important to reflect on the archetype of the bodhisattvas? Because these are the ones who have vowed to return to end suffering in this world, even though when all the suffering beings are taken to the other shore and the bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara turns around to look at the landscape where the suffering beings had formerly inhabited, only to see more suffering arising, still broken into 10,000 pieces. The bodhisattva shows up again and again and again. And this is through the means of the perfections or of the 6 paramitas.